Yu-Gi-Oh has a pretty big roster of characters, and I really enjoy a lot of these characters actually. It was honestly a little bit difficult trying to find characters that I just straight up hated, but that doesn't mean that there isn't any. So here's a few characters that made it pretty difficult to get through the episode when they popped up on screen. Side note, I haven't read the manga, so my thoughts are going to be on the characters and what they did in the Duel Monsters anime. So without wasting any more time, here's my top 5 most hated Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monster characters. Honorable mention to Rebecca. She was super annoying when we were first introduced to her. She was very bratty, very entitled, but since we only saw her for the little amount that we did, I felt like she just deserved a shout out rather than a whole spot on this list. And also, when she grew up in the Orichalcos and Grand Prix arc, she lost most of the annoying stuff about her just because she was only a little girl when we were first introduced to her. But now on to the actual list. Does anybody remember anything that Honda did throughout the series that had anything of value? No, like seriously, without looking anything up, I'm genuinely asking, what did Honda do that had anything of value? Here's probably the first and only example you thought of. Him saving Shizuka in Noah's virtual world arc by sacrificing himself. Wow, Honda, you sacrificed yourself to save Shizuka because you wanted to plow her. Wow, give it up for Honda. Give it up for Honda. What a noble soul. One bad character sacrificing himself to save another bad character in a bad filler arc is the only thing he's contributed to the series. All the times him and Otogi would fight over Shizuka was just the most nothing and useless scenes. They made me so annoyed because all I wanted to do was just get back to the actual story. The love triangle with Shizuka and grabbing characters by the collar of their shirts was all Honda was useful for in the series. If he wasn't a character, the show would remain the exact same. And don't even get me started on when he got turned into Robot Monkey Honda. Okay, now, in theory, Anzu shouldn't be a bad character. One of Yugi's closest friends that helps him get through his toughest times and is always there to support him. However, the execution of her is god-awful. Now, in the beginning of the series, I did find Anzu pretty annoying at times, but it was nothing that serious. Her having a mental crisis at just the mere thought of Jonoichi and Yugi dueling in Duelist Kingdom, and her actually thinking that she outplayed Mai when Mai just let her win so Yugi can get his star chips back are a few examples. But towards the end of the series, oh my god, she becomes damn near insufferable when they start making her in love with Atem. Not Yugi, Atem. Slowly over the course of the series, they turn her from Yugi's friend to Atem's fangirl, and she becomes a horrible friend to Yugi because of it. During the last arc of the show with the duel between Yugi and Atem, before the duel, she's constantly begging to stall so Atem can stay longer with them because she wants to fuck him. Like, just the audacity. After all this effort to try to get Atem back home, you try to guilt trip him to stay longer because you have a crush on him. And during the duel, she instinctively roots for Yugi and she questions why she did it. Let me repeat that in case it didn't click in your head. She questions why she instinctively rooted for Yugi instead of Atem. And the night before the duel, she goes into Yugi's room because she wants to talk to Atem and ask him to stay. And when it's Yugi and not Atem, she just leaves the room like Yugi is Atem's annoying little brother. This is your closest friend. The absolute nerve of this girl. I'm putting all the members of the Big Five on this placement instead of an individual one because they are all the exact same character. They are all terribly annoying villains with the same goal, same motives, same personalities, same creepy attitude towards the teenage girls of the group, and they keep being brought back when the show needs a filler villain for the gang to defeat. Do you want to know why the KC Grand Prix and Orichalcos arcs are so good? Because they finally realized to make new filler villains instead of bringing back these grouchy old businessmen. They have no personality except for hating Kaiba and being pervy towards Anzu. I mean, seriously, compare these guys to Merrick, Darts. I'll take Ryuzaki and Haga instead of these guys, honestly. The only good thing they've ever done was give us Five-Headed Dragon, and that was literally it. Now, I get a lot of flack for hating the Pharaoh's Memories arc, and believe me, that'll get a video one day too. A lot of people tell me I'm an idiot for not liking Pharaoh's Memories, even though these people that are saying that have never actually sat down and watched the full arc from beginning to end. And then they proceed to list off all the good and cool things this arc gave us. And by the way, Mahad turning into Dark Magician does not make this arc a masterpiece. I really hate to break it to you. But do you want to know what not a single person brought up to defend this arc? This fat, annoying blubbering waste of screen time and bad comedy relief. I'm not exaggerating when I say I hated every single scene Bobosa was in. And my god, he was in so many scenes. We had to sit through so many scenes of his crying, his annoying voice, his bad comedy relief. Dear God, the amount of haha, I'm fat and dumb and I call myself my own name. That's the one joke they repeat over and over and over. I can feel each of my brain cells die one by one every time he was on screen. And all for what? To find out that he was the way to find the pharaoh's name. Because he was just a random NPC that if you fed enough food to, he would grant you any wish you wanted. So they use him to fly. He flies them to the temple that has the pharaoh's name locked away. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. They get on his back and he flies them to the temple. I do not care what kind of shadow game Bakura is hosting in this pharaoh's memory world. I will not accept that they just get on his back and he flies them to the fucking temple. God damn it. I hate this arc so much. Now, I'm getting pretty worked up, but I'm going to try to calm myself down for this last entry because I don't think I've despised or hated an anime character more than I hate Shizuka. And she's not even a character you're meant to hate. I genuinely don't know where to start. Shizuka is a useless, annoying, can't do anything for herself, no personality waste of screen time. Every scene with her is her crying because she misses her brother and she can't do anything herself. Take the absolute worst aspects of Anzu, multiply them by 100 and you get Shizuka. When Jonoichi was dueling Rishido and on the verge of losing, she complains that she can't watch this anymore and tries to run away. And she has to be convinced to stay to cheer her own brother on. When Mai is in a mental torture chamber because she lost a shadow game to Merrick, Shizuka has the audacity to be at her hospital bed and say that this isn't the world she wanted to live in. You self-centered bitch. Her one and only duel with the Big Five member, I don't remember which one it is, and I'm not gonna look it up because I just do not care that much. It is genuinely the worst duel in the entire show. And no, her remembering the effect of polymerization is not character development. The only good thing she did in the entire series was save Jonoichi from drowning in Battle City, when in the manga it was originally Kaiba who saved him. She was introduced as a motive for Jonoichi to win Duelist Kingdom so he can be a better duelist and win the money to fix her eyesight. Except when he won the money and fixed her eyes, they forgot to take her out of the show! She is the exact same awful character from when we first are introduced to her to when we last see her. Now, I could go on and on about how she's the worst character in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, but it's not just me. The writers for the show knew she was the worst character too. Do you want to know how I know that? Because they had the nerve to end the Battle City arc, one of the best arcs in the whole show, with the cock tease of Jonoichi versus Yugi for Jonoichi's red eyes. And the next episode to end off the arc was a recap episode starring Anzu and Shizuka. They were probably laughing their asses off reading the forums after they aired this episode. Those sick, twisted bastards. Whew, this video got me amped up. I need to go relax. Look, subscribe, like, do all that. I'm gonna go watch GX or 5Ds or something. I can't.